And today I'm going to go over every single epic in the game and let you know if it's a good arena troop or not. Arena is different than the main game. You're going to want things that you don't usually want in the main game. Some things in arena are really good, but not outside of arena. Like some troops are really good outside of the arena, but not good in the arena, and some troops are really good in the arena, but not good outside the arena. I was planning on doing every rarity, but it took me so long to do epic that I'm just doing epic. Epic is the most important choice anyway, your very first choice. You got to make a really good first choice or you're not going to win. So this is all the epics in the game, and I tell you whether they are good for arena, average, or bad for arena. So you can go through this video and you can look at your choices, and if I say it's good, you should pick it. And if I say it's average, make sure there's not a good one there, and then pick the average one. If I say it's bad, just never pick it. So if it's good, you'll win arena. If it's average, you're going to have to like build a team around it and get lucky, and you might win arena. If it's bad, you're going to start with a bad troop, you're going to lose arena. So that's what this video is, all the epic troops and what I think about them for use in the arena. Your first pick is your most important pick, so watch this video. I'm going to go over every single troop. So if you want to see a lot of arena this weekend, we're doing the chatathon starting at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. First hour is free. After that, $1 every 3 minutes, $5 every 15, etc. You guys can pick my team. Try to pick the worst teams, the worst troops, so it's harder for me. We like doing that. The chat picks the troops. It's really fun. So there should be a lot of that on Sunday, I'm hoping. So I'm going to put these in base rarity order. And the only troops you're going to be able to get in the arena, and this is different than just, hey, are troops good or not? Arena is different. The stats are lower. Certain things are good in arena that aren't good in the main game. So this won't be like for the overall game. This is going to be just for arena. Are the troops good in arena or not? Because some troops that are good outside the arena are not good in arena, and some that are good in arena are not good outside of arena. So and I don't know if every single one of these troops are available in the arena because, you know, I feel like I haven't seen some of them, and it's more of a limited amount of each rarity that's available. But, yeah, I'm going to try to do this and see if I can do it in under an hour. And I'll put in some timestamps and stuff so you can say, like, here's the epics, here's the ultra rares, here's the rares, and here's the commons with timestamps, and then it'll be in alphabetical order after that. So if you want to look up a troop and see what I said about it, you should be able to find it. Alright, so we're going to start with Abject of Despond. It's an epic. Destroy all gems, the most common enemy color, then eliminate 3 magic from all enemies. Probably not good. Add a kite. 42 damage to an enemy, explode 3 gems. This one is pretty decent for the arena. There's no traits in the arena, so it's all about the spell. So we're going to go over mostly just the spell here. Of course, in the arena, you need like a tank, a mana generator, and, you know, damage dealers. And you want to have different colors. You don't want to have all the same color. You want to have synergy. You want to not have mana blocking or mana conflict. So you have to take that into account as well. This is in a vacuum. Are these troops good for arena? Ariamis, deal damage, then eliminate from 2 random skills. It's like average, not. So we're doing good for arena, average, or bad. So that's the first average one. Alistair, remove all purple gems, give armor to all allies, boosted by gems removed, gain barrier. It's a good tank, but it's an epic, and you kind of don't need I don't know. It's probably okay. So we'll say average. Algarok the Slayer, deal damage, and for every poison enemy, explode 2 gems, just average. Amira, deal true damage to an enemy and steal 2 magic if the enemy uses blue mana. This one is a good one, so Amira is good. So far we got Adakite and Amira. So if you see those two, consider picking them. Ancestor Broder. Create 8 blue gems, 8 green gems, and summon Magrim Woods troops. So it's going to be your first pick, and it's a mana generator, and you don't know if you're going to have blue and green gems, so I would say not good. Anked. 42 damage, create 7 skulls. Not the greatest for arena. Anointed One. Gain 31 attack and life and transform all green gems to red. Boost the effect. I'd say average because, once again, it's an epic. It's going to be your first pick. It would do okay in arena, so we're going to call it average. Anthea. Create 15 yellow and green, dispel all enemies. Probably not good because you're not going to know if you're going to have those colors or not, and it's just a mana generator. Apophysis, create green gems, convert green gems to skulls, give 37 life to the first ally. It does not have its traits, so that automatically makes it not great for Arena. Aranzi the Guardian, poison 1-3 random enemies, create 1-3 green mana potions, not good for Arena. Arcanist, dispel an enemy and deal damage, gain 4 magic and enchant myself. Average. And you don't really want an average epic, you really want a great epic, so when I say average, it almost means bad, but I'm kind of, you know, good, average, or bad, so that's what we're doing. Create 4 brown gems boosted by blue allies, no good. Argos, choose a color, remove all gems of the color, dispel the first enemy, drain their mana, not good for Arena. Ascendants, give life to all allies, not good for Arena. Asha, convert all blue gems to a chosen color. Enchant, not good for Arena because, you don't know, you know, just not good. Atlanta, deal damage to all enemies. Pretty good. Not my first choice or anything, but probably one of the good ones. So far we got Atlanta, Amira, and Adakite. Those are the ones you're going to look for. Ashpesha, give life to an ally, then remove all blue. Yeah, not good for Arena. Avina, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is undead, deal triple damage. Kind of average. Aziris, transform, select a mana gem. That would not be my epic pick here. Aziris, so no. Azura, you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. I would call it average. It dispels all enemies and eliminates points of a random skill boosted by blue gems. Explode all blue gems. So I would say average, not one of the good ones. Baba Yaga, deal damage to the last 2 enemies and silence them, then summon a Yaga's Hut. Baba Yaga is good in Arena. You will never use it outside of Arena, so that's what I'm talking about. Baba Yaga is good for Arena. Bael, deal scatter damage, then jumble the enemy team. Average. Bahir, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is a monster, entangle them. If they are a dragon, so that's just, you know, average. Bahu, create 3 yellow gems, deal damage to an enemy. Boosted by yellow gems, enchant myself. You know, that one's like borderline, average to good. Balder, create 4 skulls boosted by blue allies. You're not going to know if you're going to have all blue allies. Skulls can backfire. Look at this, Balder, not good for Arena. He's good outside the arena, though. Banejaw, deal damage with a 50% chance to hit the wrong enemy. If the enemy uses purple, deal triple damage. If the enemy dies, create 8 skulls. Not something I would pick as my epic troop. Barbaris is good. I know this already. Explode a gem. Deal damage to a random enemy boosted by each brown gem destroyed. Boost ratio ×5. So you want to look at those boost ratios. So you're going to explode a gem that gives you mana. Then you're going to deal damage boosted by brown gems destroyed, and you get a ×5 boost ratio. That's like a one-shotting, mana generating. So yes, Barbaris is good. Barghast. Deal damage to an enemy and the enemy below. Burn and fairy fire them both. Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know, borderline. Baz, not good. Baron Gari. Deal damage to an enemy and rage a random ally. Not one of my, not a good one. Birchthorn, deal damage if the enemy dies, entangle all enemies. No. Black Bjorn. I should probably just say if they're good or bad. You know, I just like to have the average just in case. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by enraged allies. Not good. Blackfire Cannon, deal damage to an enemy and a 30% chance to deal damage to a random enemy. Not one I would pick. Bone Golem, explode a gem, inflict death mark on a random enemy for every skull destroyed. Gain 30 attack and armor. This one is a good one. Now, we don't always want to use a tank for our epic, but this one gains so much attack and armor, and it's also inflicting death marks and exploding, so Bone Golem is a good arena troop. It is. Bone Biter, deal damage to an enemy if they are undead. So, you know, if it has to be like if it has to be an undead or something, like, you're not going to know that, so not one you should pick. Bonnie Rose, deal damage to an enemy boosted by gold collected, gain 15 gold. Making sure I turned on my mic. Whew. Nope. Bonnie Rose is not good for arena. Borgak, deal damage to an enemy. Nope. Not good. Brawlmaster Bernaka, create 8 red gems boosted by orc allies and enemies, give 1 attack. Nope, not good for arena. Brian the Clucky, eliminate. Nope, not good for Arena. Brian the Lucky, not good for Arena. Broker of Greed, not good for Arena. Bully Knoll, not good because, you know, you have to hit, it doesn't hit the same, you know? It doesn't, I mean, it's okay. This is an average, I would say. Bull Taurus, deals scatter damage boosted by my life. You're not going to have very high life in Arena. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever, I would say average. Burning Ocularin, burn an enemy, deal damage to them, and convert red gems to skulls to boost the effect. Pretty average, I wouldn't call it bad. Caprinicus, deal damage, steal 4 attack, and shift it to magic. It's okay, I would say average. Captain Skullbeard, create 5 skulls, boosted by treasure maps. Collected, then explode gems. No, average, I wouldn't want it as my epic, but I wouldn't cry if it was my epic. Carlson Marshall, deal damage to an enemy, boosted by yellow gems. And you got a 2-to-1 ratio, but that's all he does, I would say no. Carmella, deal damage to an enemy, gain 6 life. Just average. Centuragon, here's a troop that's good outside of Arena. Will it be good for the Arena? Let's see right now. There's a 10% chance to devour a random enemy, plus 10% for each wild card, then convert all skulls to 2 times wild cards. So I would not want this in Arena. I would pick something else. Cernunnos. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by blue allies and blue gems. If you knew your whole team was blue allies, then it would be good, but you're not going to be able to know that, so you should not pick it. Unless it's like the only good thing there. You could, if you have 2 other terrible choices, then yeah, pick it. But other than that, nah. Calcidoni, deal damage to an enemy, then create 3 brown gems boosted by all construct allies. Here's another one that is good outside of Arena, but if you don't know that you're going to get construct allies, it's just average. So if you see it and there's 2 bad ones as the other 2 choices, then of course pick it. But if you see something awesome like Bone Golem or Adakite or any of the other ones that I called good, pick them instead. This is where people have trouble in Arena. They pick troops that are traditionally good outside of Arena, but they don't have their traits. You can't put them into you can't pick the troops that they go with, so you can't take advantage of stuff like with Calcidoni, with having construct allies. You don't know if you're going to get construct allies, so you can't just pick Calcidoni. So that's why I'm doing this video right now. Just because you know all the good troops in the game doesn't mean you're going to be good at Arena and pick good Arena troops. You have to pick these Arena troops based on, you know, them having no traits and knowing what's good in Arena and what you need and, like, how you can, like, pick an epic and then not knowing what's the next 3 choices and all that. So I think there's value in this video. Cranass. Gain 1 soul for each purple gem, then explode all purple gems. Would not want that as my epic. You see how epics also are like, it's the first pick, and it's got to be good. And, you know, we got to get something good. We can't just have an exploder that does nothing else. We can't have just a converter here that doesn't even have empowered. So no, not good. Chromite Sphinx, jumble the board? No, not good. Cindy, not good. Cloudstalker, deal damage to an enemy. If they are a tower, not good. Corbin Half-Elf, explode 3 gems, not good. Corrupt Troll, don't really want a troll here because we don't know. Are we going to have purple gems and green gems or whatever? We don't know that, so we don't want to pick a Corrupt Troll as our first pick. Quaidle, no, bad. Crazed Troll, another troll, you don't want to pick a troll. Crimson Arrow, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy's attack is weaker, deal 15 more damage. If the enemy has Hunter's Mark, deal 15 more damage. So this is a good troop for Arena. It is. This is a good Arena troop. It's going to deal damage to an enemy. Their attack is almost always going to be weaker, so it's always going to deal then 15 more damage. Now, I'm not going to deal 40 damage in Arena. It's going to be less than that. But just the extra 15 damage, some troops in Arena only have 15 durability. So whatever that first number is, plus the 15 is going to one-shot every time. If the enemy has Hunter's Mark, deal 15 more damage. So 30 damage potentially on top of the normal damage there. So Crimson Arrow is a good Arena troop. Kryptown, drain 7 mana from an enemy, not good. This thing, deal a range of damage to a random enemy, increase a random skill by 8, then just average in Arena. Cyrene, drain 7 mana from an enemy, not good in Arena. Dark Knight, destroy a column, drain 4 mana from the first enemy, not good in Arena. It does have a gain a barrier. It's not terrible. I would call it average. Dark Song, not good in Arena, because you don't know what... Well, it's not bad, but, you know, it's average. I would call it average. Dark Troll, we do not want a troll for our first pick. Darkborn Warlock, deals scatter damage, boosted by purple gems and purple allies. You could pick this and then try for purple allies, and it would do some pretty good damage, but if you get no other purple allies, then it's just average. Daughter of Ice, not good. We don't need an empowered converter that isn't empowered. Deathblade, deal true damage to an enemy with a 5% chance to slay them, boosted by 5% for each Doomskull. This one's pretty good. True damage in the arena is good because their stats are so much lower that doing any kind of true damage is just going to kill them that much quicker. Then it also has a 5% chance to slay. Yeah, I think this is borderline good. I don't know if I'd call it good, but calling it average, it's in between. Deathclaw, steal life from an enemy boosted by undead allies, then explode 3 purple gems. So stealing life is even better than true damage, and you get to explode 3 purple gems. So this is a good arena troop. Look out for Deathclaw. It's a good arena troop. Deep Golem, explode a gem, barrier an ally for each skull destroyed, gain life. This is a good arena troop. This would be one of those other ones like Bone Golem, where you're kind of picking it as your tank, but it gains so much life, it explodes, it's doing barriers, like, it is a good arena troop. Deep Magus, deal damage to all enemies, then curse or web them all. This one's pretty good. It's like in between, once again, not the greatest, a little bit better than average, like above average. At least it hits all enemies, and it does something else too. Desdemona, deal true damage to an enemy. Deal double damage if they use yellow mana. Gain an extra turn if they are a daemon. So kind of strange, but it does true damage, so it's another one of those in-betweeners. Desert Troll, no, because it's going to be your first pick. You don't know if you're going to have yellow troops. You don't want that to be your first pick. Destructobot, deal damage to an enemy. 50% chance to deal triple damage. There's a 15% chance to self-destruct. It's okay. It's somewhere in between. It's probably above average. Now I'm adding scatter damage, 75% chance to burn all enemies. It's actually decent for arena. I wouldn't call it good, but it's decent. Deal scatter damage, summon a giant spider. You will never use this troop outside the arena, but it is okay in arena. I would call it average. You got to summon, you're doing scatter damage. Dragon Cruncher, deal damage to an enemy. It has to be a dragon to devour and do all that other stuff, so I would say no. Dragon Spirit, deal scatter damage, 75% chance to enchant all allies. This is okay for arena. I would call it above average as well. Now I've added above average. Convert all brown gems to skulls, then curse and deathmark all dwarves. Not good for arena. Not. Durgan Ironfall, give armor and 3 magic to all brown allies. We don't know if we're going to have brown allies, so I'm not going to pick this as my first troop. No. Earth Caller, deal damage to an enemy boosted by my attack, life, and armor. You know, it's okay. I'd call it average. Air Stone Shatter, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy dies, creates 11 blue gems. You could make that work. I would call it above average. Eldritch Guardian, here we go. This one's good for arena. You will never use it anywhere else, except for in raids. But it is good in arena, I think. Deal damage to an enemy. Gain 12 life and armor. If the enemy dies, double the effect. Now, 12 life and armor, when you're just playing the regular game, is like nothing. But in arena, 24 durability is like a double up. And you can double the effect if you get a kill. So this is like the runic blade of the arena. So this is a good troop for arena. Eldritch Minion, convert all. We don't want to convert. We don't want none of that. It isn't empowered, so no. Elf Eater, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy's an elf, blah, blah, blah. So no. Elwyn, destroy a row and column. Deal damage to a random enemy. Boosted by yellow gems destroyed. 7 boost ratio. This is, yes. Good troop for the arena, yes. Amparina, give life and attack to an ally, then cleanse and heal them. It's okay, but I probably wouldn't pick it as my epic. Envoy of Pride, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy dies, steal 4 magic from all remaining enemies. Average. Aaron, yes. Summon 2 Quasits, transform a selected mana color to purple. I would not pick it, because I don't know if I'm going to have purple troops and need purple mana that bad. Eternal Sentinel. Freeze a random enemy? No, this is not a good troop for Arena. Explode Stool. Explode 18 gems if an enemy is diseased. Poison? No, this is not a good first pick in Arena. Feymark. Deal damage. If the enemy dies, cleanse all allies and dispel all enemies. No, I would not pick that. Unless it was the only thing and the other two were terrible. Fokker the Wise. Give to a random skill on an ally. Repeat a second time. I wouldn't pick that as my epic. Faunessa. Deal damage to an enemy equal to their attack. Give life to all allies boosted by damage dealt. Not bad. I mean, their attack is probably going to be pretty low. So you're probably only going to give, like... You're probably going to do, like, 9 damage or something. And then you're going to 3-to-1 ratio, so I don't know, it's average. Feldraw. Steal damage to an enemy boosted by all enemies' magic. If there are 13 more red... Nah, it's kind of... It's like average. Feldragon. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by burning and diseased enemies. No. Fenrir. This one's okay. Give an ally attack and life. If the ally is a beast, double the effect. So you can make Fenrir your tank, cast it on itself, and you will get double the effect because itself is a beast, and you can cast it on itself. So you give yourself a ton of life and attack, and then you can take skulls and have a giant tank. So Fenrir is a good arena troop. I would pick it. Ferret. Deal damage to the last enemy and drain all mana from them. Average. Finley. Transform all skulls. Bad. First Mate Axelubber. It's empowered. We can't use our traits. It's a converter. We do not want to pick that as our first pick. Convert all yellow gems to skulls. Give 18 attack to the first ally. Not, I would call it average. Flame Troll. We don't want trolls as our first pick. Forest Troll. We don't want trolls. Freddy. We don't want Freddy. Frecky the Wild. Deal true damage to the first enemy. If they use purple mana, deal double damage. If they are a daemon or beast, place... So it's true damage, so I call it average. You know, you could have you could have Freddy and Forest Troll. If you have these three right here, you would pick Frecky the Wild, but he's only average. Freya, deal damage to an enemy. Freeze a random enemy. Not great. Frostfire Troll, no, do not pick that. Fundingus, explode purple gems, then summon either a giant toadstool or explode stool, gain an extra turn. I would say, yeah, I would pick Fundingus. Big explosion. And just because we don't use purple, it still explodes other gems around the purple. It has a summon and an extra turn, so Fundingus is a good arena troop. Gail, Spirit Whisperer. Deal damage to an enemy. No. Gargoyle. Deal splash damage to an enemy. Boosted by all allies' attack. Explode 2 gems. Does a lot of crap. It is good. I would pick it in arena. Gelatinous Cube. Deal damage to an enemy. 50% to devour. No. Gem Hammer. Deal damage to an enemy and eliminate 5 attack from them. Nah, just average. General Salden. Average. No. Girly. No. Gimlet. No. Glass Golem. Explode a gem. Give reflect to a random ally. For every skull destroyed, gain armor. You know, it's average. Gob Chomper. Deal damage to an enemy if the enemy is a goblin. No. Gorthrom. Destroy a column, then explode 2 random gems for every yellow gem destroyed. Nah, I wouldn't pick that as my first. Grand Inquisitor. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by the number of White Helm allies. Gain barrier. So it does do damage and get a barrier. And if you can have like another White Helm, I mean, I would call it average. Above average. Grave Seer. No, we don't want an empowered converter that we can't use its traits. Gravitas. Deal damage to an enemy. No. Green Seer. Transform a selected mana color to green. No. Green Slime. No. Griff Stonefeather. Destroy a column. Deal splash damage to a random enemy boosted by blue gems destroyed. That is good. ×5 boost ratio. You could get a lot of damage out of it. Griff Stonefeather is a good arena troop. Grimora. Steal gold. No. Guardian Pillar. No. I mean, it's okay. It's average. Guardian Pillar. Half Grim, half Giant. Deal damage. No. Harpy Mage. Conjure a dust storm, then choose an ally and explode. You know, it's not as good in arena as it is outside of arena. It's probably average. Hawthorne. Destroy a row. Deal damage to the first enemy. Boosted by green allies and green gems destroyed. So another one of those with a boost ratio. You do damage based on destroying green. You can pick the row with the most green in it. You can do some good damage. So he is like above average to good. Helgor the Guardian. He does gain life and armor. I would say average. You can make him your tank if the other two picks are terrible. Hellcackle, deal damage and gain an extra turn. Why not? I would take that. I would pick him. Hellcat, transform a selected mana color to red, deal damage to a random enemy. That's actually pretty good for Arena. Hellclaw Rager, deal damage to an enemy, and then it's like, I don't know, it's average. Hellclaw Warrior, this one's good. Gain attack and life boosted by red and purple gems, then conjure a Hellstorm. So you make a Hellstorm, you gain a bunch of life and attack. It's probably more like above average than good, but you could win with it. Herald of Blight, destroy a rogue, curse, and disease the first two enemies, then deal damage to them, boosted by green gems destroyed. Destroy a row, boost ratio, doing damage to two enemies, I think. Yeah, I would pick that. Herald of Blight sounds good. Herald of Chaos, destroy a row, deal damage to the first enemy, and eliminate 32 points of a random skill boosted by blue gems destroyed. It's kind of troops you do want to pick. You want to pick stuff that has a boost ratio that does mana generation and damage, and has a boost ratio on its damage. You do want this, so yes, good troop for Arena. Herald of Damnation, Empowered Converter. We do not want that as our first pick. Herald of Torpor, destroy a row, eliminate attack from the first two enemies. No. Herald of Woe, destroy a row, gain attack and armor, boosted by brown. You could. That can make that your tank. I would say it's decent, above average. Herney, deal damage, destroy a random row. That is actually decent. Hex Rat, deal damage to an enemy and all enemies below them. If the enemy is cursed, deal double damage and death mark them. So just the ability to hit all enemies is pretty good, so I would say yes. I would say it's above average to good. Hoagie, no. Horned Hag, deal true damage to an enemy, then summon a random hag. True damage with a summon. I would pick that, yes. Ice Golem, exploded gem, freeze a random enemy for every blue gem destroyed. Average. Ice Troll, no. Ice Witch, deal damage to an enemy and freeze them. If the enemy dies, give 3 magic to all allies. I probably wouldn't pick that as my first pick. Ifrit, deal scatter damage. Nah. Igneous, damage, transform all red gems to brown. That could work. This is above average to good. Because at least it's doing something on top of its damage. If you have brown troops on your team, which it is a brown troop, it can get mana for itself and get back up. So I would say yes. A Lithium Servator, deal damage to all enemies, then steal 2 magic from all survivors. I do use this. I would call it good, yes. Indolcolor Sloth, no. No. Ironbark, no. Ironjaw, yes. Destroy all skulls, gain life and armor boosted by skulls destroyed. 1-to-1 boost ratio, so you can gain quite a bit of life and armor. I mean, I wouldn't make it my first pick, but I would pick it. Eichel, deal damage, create a light storm. Nah. Jackal, nah. Kartek, yes. Deal damage to an enemy. Eliminate 10 armor from all enemies. So you're getting, that's all their armor. So yes. Kartek the Climber is a good arena troop. Keeper of Lore, no. Keghammer, no. Kendrala, yes, I would pick Kendrala. She does damage. If they die, she gets 12 mana back, which is full mana. So Kendrala is a good arena troop. Kadib to her. Excuse me, no. King's Crown, no. Kobold Magi. Destroy a column, deal scatter damage, then either gain an extra turn or gain 12 magic. I would say yes, I would pick that. Cobra, deal damage to an enemy, boosted by poison enemies. With a summon, average. Lady Anerial, I wouldn't want that as my first pick, but she's probably average. Lady Estelle, nah. Lady Garnicia, it's only 3, so average. Lady Ironbeard, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy's armor is weaker, deal triple damage, gain 5 armor. Their armor's almost always going to be weaker, so yes, I would pick this. I would say yes. Good troop for arena. Lady Saphira, deal true damage to an enemy, gain 4 life and 2 attack. Yeah, it's good. For arena. Lamashtu, convert yellow to purple, deal damage to the weakest enemy. Actually, yes, pretty good for arena. Lapena Knight, deal damage to an enemy, grant all allies a random stats effect. I do pick Lapena Knight, yes. No, 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 no trolls. Leocorn, no. Lil Johnny Bronze, no. Limpet Bot, no. Lord Archimedes, deal scatter damage boosted by, maybe. It's like average. Lord Bellinor, deal damage to an enemy and the enemy below them, boosted by Forest of Thorns allies. Hits multiple enemies? I don't know, average. Deal damage? No. Lord Ember, transform a chosen mana color to red. Nah, you don't want that as your first pick. Deal damage to an enemy, deal triple damage if they use red mana. Average. Lucy Fear, she's good. Deal damage to an enemy. Burn all enemies. Burn is good in Arena, so you're going to do 3 damage per turn, you know, and they don't have very much durability, so Lucy Freya is a good Arena troop. Luther, no. Malcondessa, no. Manticore Protector, average. Mantis Shrimp, true damage, average. Marid, no. Marilith, yes, I would pick Marilith. 6 true damage in Arena's pretty good, and then you get all those gems, and you gain 6 attack, so yes. Mechator, splash damage, boosted by my armor. You get silence, it's average. Mira Dawn, deal damage to an enemy, no. Mercy, no. Metzili, no. Moira, nah, yeah, she's good. She's okay. She's above average. Mongo, no. Monster Cruncher, no. Moon Mage, no. Moon Phoenix, no. Moon Rabbit, no. Mortera, no. Morthani, well, it's average, I guess. It's got a summon. Morthani's Will, steal armor from an enemy and deal true damage, drain their mana and gain half of it. Average. Deal damage. Jumble, no. Mushu, no. Natureborn Hunter, no. Nax, no. Necreza, no. Nerita, no. Night Hag, no. Night Slayer, no. Nightwing is good. Deal damage to an enemy. Create 8 yellow and 8 purple. It uses purple, so it could loop. So I like Nightwing for Arena. Yes, it is good for Arena. Nobin Brothers, gain an extra turn and either eliminate attack from all enemies or deal damage or explode. Yes, I do. I pick Nobin Brothers. It's not the best pick, but it's above average. Nosferatu, true damage, and it can transform. It's decent. It's pretty good. It's above average for Arena. Ochre Jelly, nah. Ocularin, deal damage to the 2 weakest enemies and transform brown gems to green to boost the effect. It uses green, so yes. Yes, I would. I would pick Ocularin. Old Man Oakroot, eliminate all armor from an enemy and deal damage. Just okay. Pantha, true damage, 10% to kill. Above average. Patience, damage, that's it, no. Pavis, no. Ping Long, nah, it's okay. Pride, no. Pride Guard, no. Prince Akia, that's okay. I mean, if you can give all allies 5 attack and summon a Lightstorm and make it like a giant yellow team, I would say above average. Prince Barislav, deal damage to an enemy. If I'm enraged, then become enraged. Average, above average. Prince Etheros, deal damage to an enemy, boosted by enemy Fae with a summon. Another average troop. Princess Elspeth, you're not gonna want to do her move in Arena. You don't have her empowered, so I would say no. Unless you're just trying to have fun. Princess Fizzbang. It's like Nobin Brothers. It's kind of like above average. Kind of if you just want to make a fun team. Pygra, create 5 red gems and explode 18 red gems. And 20% chance. Nah, it's like okay, but I wouldn't pick that as my epic. Pyro Hydra, deal scatter damage. Boosted by burning enemies. Burn 1 to 3 random enemies. Average. Quatermanis, light splash damage if the enemy is a construct. Nah. Queen's Herald, just average. Quick Paw Jack, no. Ragnagord, not my pick for epic, no. Deal damage to an enemy if the enemy dies, gain 9 mana back, and gain an extra turn. It's not bad, it's average. I would pick it over certain other things. If it was between like Quatermanis, Quick Paw Jack, and Raven, I would pick Raven. Red Arimon, explode a mana gem, deal damage to all enemies of that mana color. You can make that work, above average. Red Charlotte, deal damage, nah. Red Thorn, splash damage, no. Rhino Gore, deal splash damage to an enemy. If the enemy dies, gain 12 mana. It's not bad for Arena. I do pick Rhinogore. I would call it above average to good. Because you can kill something, get all your mana back, kill another thing, get all your mana back, kill another thing, get all your mana back. Rock Troll, we do not want trolls. We don't want any of these troops either. None of these Guardian troops. Rowan, I would probably pick it, but it depends what the other options are. I would call it just average in Arena, because you can't really boost her armor up, but she's not going to one-shot. Rubatressa, steal armor, then shift it to attack, deal damage. Nah. Sabalis, eliminate all armor from the first enemy, then deal damage to all enemies. It's like above average. Saga, deal damage to all enemies boosted by blue and frozen enemies. Average. Salamander, deal damage to an enemy and burn them. No. Seguina, steal life from an enemy boosted by purple allies and enemies. If I could get a purple team, I would use her. But you don't know that, so if there's two other terrible choices, so I call her average. That's kind of how I'm doing it. If I say they're good, I would pick them no matter what. If I say they're average, I would pick them and then try to build a team around them. And if they're bad, I never pick them. Scarab Knight, gain barrier and armor. There's a independent 25 chances by brown gems to gain an extra turn, half my mana back. I mean, you could use it as your tank and try to tank it out. I call it average. Build a team around it. Scarlet, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is a beast, deal triple damage. We don't know, so we're not going to pick that. Scurvy, can't use its traits, so no. Troll, we don't want trolls. Sea Witch, no. Second Claw and her. Destroy a 3/3 block, give attack to all allies above me and magic to all allies below me. I probably wouldn't pick that as my first. True damage, enrage. Why would you want to enrage them? So no. Sir Signia. Maybe. I think I would. Above average to good, yes. Because you're gaining life and barrier, and then you're doing damage. So I would pick it, yes. Shade of Kurandara, deal damage to an enemy, boosted by Doomskulls, conjure a Doomstorm. Nah, we don't want a bunch of Doomskulls flying around in Arena. Shadow Hunter, deal damage to the strongest enemy, boosted by all enemy life. I mean, it's okay. Some people think this is a good Arena troop, and it's like above average, really, because, once you kill an enemy, its attack goes down. So it's good for, like, that first kill, but then after that, I don't know. It's like an average to me. Shaman of Set, choose a color, create red gems. It's good if you can make a whole team of red troops, but you don't know that, so I can't tell you that it's good. Deal damage to an enemy. There's a 30% chance for an extra turn, and 30%, average. Shale, convert a mana gem, no. Shimmer Scale, convert brown to red, deal damage to an enemy, boosted by gems converted. Yeah, because it does damage, and then it converts into its own color. So if you get alignment, you can get an extra turn and all your mana back. So I would say yes, I would use Shimmer Scale. Shimmer Scale, yes. Shocktopus, yes. Destroy 8 gems of a chosen color. Deal true damage to each enemy of that color. You could kill all the enemies on the other team in one shot with this. So Shocktopus, yes, is a good Arena troop. Sifu Yan, deal damage. Enchant 2 random allies. Yes, I would pick Sifu Yan, because 2 enchants in Arena would be great. Sir Alamir, create 8 red and 8 yellow. Deal damage to the first enemy and burn them. Yeah, it does multiple things. It's above average. Sir Ebonheart, steal a quarter of an enemy's armor, then deal damage. Nah. Sir Gawain, no. Sir Mordain, nah. Sir Snothelm, average. Sir Wulfric, yes. You do damage, and then you give 8 armor to all allies. There's probably better picks out there than him, but he's a super solid pick if you see him. Sister Ebony, deal damage to the first and last enemy. If either enemy uses blue mana, deal double damage. If either enemy uses purple mana, decent. I'd call it average. If you get lucky, it can be really good. Skeleros, no, we don't want skulls flying all over the place in Arena. Cleanse and barrier an ally and give them life. Nah, I wouldn't pick that as my epic. Deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is Hunter's Mark, deal triple damage. Hunter's Mark them. No. Spark Grinder, give attack and armor to an ally if the ally is a mech. It depends if you have a mech or not, and you're not going to know that, so nah. Spinneret, deal damage to all enemies, web a random enemy. Average. Spring Emissary. Give magic to an ally and mana equal to half their mana cost if they are Fey, plus and enchant them. No. Statue of Saint Veritas. Deal damage. Give all allies barrier if I am damaged. I don't know. You can put them in first slot, but let's say average. Stheno. Create a mix of 3 green and red gems. No. Stone Biter. Deal damage. If the enemy dies, gives... Yeah, I would pick him, yes. If you can get a kill, you get... It's like Runic Blade. Stone Shaker. Deal damage, explode 3 brown. I would, yes, pick this. It's kind of like Adakite. It's doing damage and mana generation. Storm Chaser. Destroy 1 row for each elemental enemy, then deal... average. Storm Singer. No. String Fiddler. Silence an enemy. Explode 9 gems on one of their mana colors. Gain an extra turn. Pretty good, but I would hope for something a little bit better. But it wouldn't be the end of the world. I would take it. Strigic. Deal scatter damage. Boost by yellow gems. Conjure a light storm. Average. Sunweaver. Give attack, armor, and life to an ally, then give 6 mana to them. I do pick Sunweaver. I will. I'll pick Sunweaver. Because that's a lot of stuff. Swamp Lash. Deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is entangled, deal triple damage. Entangle the enemy. Nah. Swan May. No. Sulfurostanath. Average. Sylvasi. No. Taipan. No. Tauray. Deal damage to an enemy. No. Tankbot. Steal armor from an enemy and deal true damage. Yes, I do. I pick Tankbot. Tankbot 2000 is a good arena troop. Tarantella. No. Tassarion. No. Tau. Yes, it's kind of like a Runic Blade. It's not as good as some of the other ones we've talked about, but it's okay. I would pick it. Ted 1000. Nah, just average. Terra Worm. Gain attack and armor boosted by skulls and explode 3 gems. Yeah, I would pick that. It could win. It could be your tank. It could do that type of thing. Terraxis. Yes, and once again we got damage, and it's to all enemies, and it turns blue gems to brown. So if you can get a team, just put some other brown troops on your team. It's almost average because you have to build the team around it, but it's like above average because it hits all enemies. And you just need to put a couple brown troops on your team, and you're good to go. I would say above average to good on Terraxis. Tezca. No. Thomarus. Yes, I picked that one, yes. Does damage and explodes gems, so it's like super good average. It's like really decent, so I pick it when I see it. The Burrow Warden. No. Emerald Giant. Maybe. Damage and it converts, but it's not like an alignment type of convert, so you can't like make an extra turn, so it could backfire, so never mind. I'd call it average. The Sapphire Giant. Deal damage to an enemy. They convert 5. Yeah, once again, it's just like that one. I would say average. Cleanse and Barrier myself. Destroy a row. Gain armor and life boosted by yellow. Yes, that's really good in Arena. It's like a giant tank that can gain a bunch of stats. Thunder Forge. Yeah, because you can make it the first troop, and then you can cast on yourself, and you get double the effect. So I don't know how much armor and attack. I would get 8 attack. And like a lot of armor. So you could make this just a giant tank that does skulls. Sometimes that's the way to go in Arena. It's Toad Squeezer. Yes, because it explodes 4 gems or enchants all other allies after it does damage. Tomb Robber. Create 6 skulls, boosted by my gold. No. Tomb Spider. Nah, I wouldn't pick that. Totec. Yes, Totec is good. You gain armor, you barrier yourself. If a storm is active, barrier all other allies. So all you got to do is get a storm somehow, and you can give barrier to all your allies. And even if you can't do that, you're still gaining a bunch of armor and doing barrier. You could make it through. So, I don't know. It's borderline, but I would say yes. I do use it, yes. Totec is good. No. Tulieo? Nah, because I would have to make a whole team with the same colors. And Turtle Cannon. No. Tuskor. Nah. Tutankhamun. No. Twinkleberry. Purple to green. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those again. I mean, those are okay. Like, I wouldn't call them the best, but they're so solid that, Like, you're doing damage and you're converting into your color that you're already using. So you can get yourself right back up, cast again. Tyrant and Rex. Yeah, because it becomes enraged and destroys a row and does damage. So yes. Tiri, no, I wouldn't pick that as my first. Dezoth. I might pick it just to try for that Devour, but I'll call it above average. Ulf Huntmaster. No. Umbraxis. Yeah, I mean, you do damage and silence. Why not? I would pick it. Yes, I do pick it. Uriel, no. Valiant Pyrea, no. Valor, no. Van Kane, no. Vasara, maybe. I mean, it does damage and then it does even more damage. But the further you get, it's not going to do that because you're going to... So, above average. Vinbarok, deal damage to all enemies, 75% chance of disease. Nah. Visk. Maybe. I mean, if you can, I might pick him. He's above average. Vlad the Unsated, steal life from an enemy boosted by my life. 3-to-1 I mean, stealing life in Arena is really good, so I would pick him. So I say yes. He's not like one of my top picks, but I would pick him. Volthranax, explode a gem, deal damage to all enemies boosted by yellow gems destroyed. ×4 boost ratio, yes. Volthranax is a really good Arena troop. Vorkarn. It's pretty good. It's a solid choice, but it's only 4 attack that it gains. But put it in first slot, do some damage, gain some attack. It's solid. No, I wouldn't pick Wall of Tentacles. War Machine. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by skulls. If the enemy is divine, so no. War Drock. No. Water Elemental. No, because stun is useless in Arena. It does hit all enemies, though, so I'd call it average. Water Weird, no. Waterborn Priestess, no. Wave Rider, no. Wazir, no. Werebat, steal life from an enemy. Inflict deathmark on a random enemy. It does steal life, so, you know, I like that for Arena. I mean, we'll call it above average, though. Werecat, no. Were-Raven, no. Were-Shark, no. Were-Vereen, no. Werewolf, purple to blue, transform. I mean, you could probably win. I would call it average. Since you get to transform, like, you can deal damage, you can then take damage, and then you can take some damage, and then deal some damage and transform and get all your life and armor back from transforming. And then, like, do it again. So, it's average. It's above average. Wild Fang, deal damage, wrong enemy, blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe. It's average. Wild Knight, explode a gem, gain life and attack boosted by green gems destroyed, gain barrier. Yes, I would use this. I would make it my giant tank that gains a bunch of life and attack, and then I would use skulls. I would build him so high that they can't kill him, and then I would just take skulls and win. So yes, Wild Knight is a good Arena troop. Willie the Anchor, no. Wrath Naga, no. Wu Hao, no. Xing Mao, maybe. You know, he does damage and gains barrier, so he's pretty above average Arena-wise. Yaga's Hut, no, because how are you going to silence him? Yarrow, no. Zephyros, destroy a column, deal scatter damage, boosted by yellow gems destroyed. Boost ratio, hitting all enemies, yes. Zephyros, yes, is a good Arena troop. Zac Boomgrizzle, deal damage, explode 3 red gems. We've been saying yes on those, so I would probably, yes, take it. Those are like a little bit lower in the good, like Adakite and whatnot. So I do pick those, yes. I'm not calling them the best, but yeah, they are really good. So I do pick those, so I would say yes.